Hello everyone, welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. Today we are doing a pick a card reading on what is blocking your union. So if you have somebody in mind where you feel like you two are divinely connected or like there's something more there, but you don't know why you two are not united yet in this lifetime, then this is going to be a great video for you. We are going to be looking into all of the different reasons and causes why this might be taking place. And I'm just going to be really real with you guys. I'm going to be completely honest with what I'm seeing. So if there's any type of healing that you need to do, I'm going to lay it out for you, and I'm going to be completely sincere and completely honest as always, but just keep that in mind as you watch this reading today. I do want to share that today's video is sponsored by Keen. Keen is amazing because they have advisors available 24/7, and I have done so many Keen readings at this point. You guys, it's honestly insane. My advisor is Bear Sage, and Bear Sage literally continues to amaze me. He always gives me really pragmatic and grounded, honest advice, and currently in the last reading I did with him, he gave me a lot of advice about how I can grow my YouTube channel. And it was all beautiful spiritual information that was also pragmatic. So I'm really connected to Bear Sage, and I just want to say thank you to him and also thank you to Keen. If you would like to get your own Keen reading today, all you have to do is use my promo link. You can get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. So use the link that I'm showing on my screen to get that offer. You can also use the QR code that I'm showing right now. So get your first 10 minutes, only $1.99. I highly recommend this, and I know that you guys are really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get into the 3 piles that we're working with today and figure out what is blocking your union. So over here, we have pile 1 with the Selenite. Here we have pile 2 with the Rose. And here we have pile 3 with the Rose Quartz. So take all the time you need to choose your pile, and you can pause this video if you would like while you do that. Once you have the pile that speaks most to you, you can fast forward using the timestamps in the description box below to get your own personal reading, and I will see you guys there. Thank you so much. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. Your first card is here, and we have 25 other people. Okay, so that is a clear message from Spirit. Perhaps other people are blocking your union. This could be something like a third-party situation. I know that's not the easiest to hear. I do definitely see some kind of circumstantial block which is taking place. I do want you to know I feel this is largely circumstantial. I'm also hearing that the person in question, the one you're asking about, can be a little bit stubborn. So again, I see that there's the potential there's like a third party here. You may or may not already know about this person. Let's see what else Spirit wants to communicate with what is blocking this union. And once again, we ask Spirit that this reading is protected, that only divine and loving guidance comes through, and that these messages are very accurate, clear, and specific. 27 coincidences. Okay, so I have a lot to say to this pile, but let's pull some cards first and we'll go from there. 23 Archangels and Ascended Masters. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards here. We have the Knight of Crystals. That's a Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Ace of Crystals. Or sorry guys, these are Wands. Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands. Three of Swords. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to start here, and we are going to get guidance on these 6 cards first, and then I'm going to ask for some advice after. So the first card we have here is Other People. What I'm seeing is your person's energy is not completely on you. I'm just being extremely honest, and I know that this is probably hard to hear. For some of us, this can be one of our deepest fears, actually. But what I'm seeing is that it's easier for your person to treat other connections superficially, whereas with your connection, I feel that you're unearthing something in them that is potentially triggering or touching on a childhood wound. And I do want to be very clear that this wound is more on their end than yours. So you might not be completely aware of how deep this wound is, but what I'm seeing is that it traces back to childhood. And I do feel it has something to do with abandonment, but it's more like your person is afraid of being abandoned, therefore it's easier for them to treat relationships and situationships more superficially. And so this superficial energy is how they're showing up right now, despite the fact that under the surface they have a lot of depth. And it's interesting because I see between the two of you, this is like a twin flame relationship, by the way. So I feel there's a twin flame energy here, and I feel that it's just easier for them to not deal with the level of depth that you are presenting to them. Therefore, they might stray to other people. And I do want to be really clear in letting you know that I don't think you should take this as an admonishment from your person. I really feel this person does have feelings for you, but it's like they're very much afraid of the extent of their feelings for you. And, it's really up to you how you want to receive this, because some of you might choose to say, well, I'm not going to wait around and I deserve much more. And I agree with you. I do think that you deserve much more than what is being presented to you right now in the 3D. But I do also want you to know that these other people that are in their field, first of all, this is very superficial. It hasn't gotten to like an extreme level. It's nothing like a relationship. It's more like maybe they're just talking to people. It's almost like the spark of an energy, but there's really no true connection or dynamic. And I want you to know that you are protected. So we have the 23 card, Archangels and Ascended Masters, and something in your soul chose to be connected to this person, and I feel that you're both here to heal each other, but I'm going to, later on in this reading, ask for a little bit of advice on how you can accelerate this healing so that this union block is not so prevalent, because right now I think it's particularly challenging and difficult for you, and I just want you to know this person does love you. This person does actually see a future with you, but they're very afraid of pursuing that future currently, and they're very afraid of having something so good. There's honestly an element here where this person is truly afraid of having like the best life ever. And on the surface, to us, it might seem insane to think that way, but for your person, it's not at all, because they've never had something like you. They've never been loved in the way that you are loving them, which is radical and unconditional, and they're just not sure how to hold it energetically, is what I'm seeing. But I do want to say that I kind of feel like this situation, even though you've been in it for a while, it's also kind of just the beginning. And that might be really beautiful for you to hear. It might also be really frustrating. So, of course, you can receive it however you wish. But it's almost just the beginning, because here they are treating this kind of superficially, but the energy is so strong and so potent that they're not going to be able to run away forever. And that's kind of the message that I'm getting. And this is definitely like twin flame vibes 100,000%, because if they weren't your twin flame, they wouldn't run away. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like because they're your twin flame, the universe is also bringing in these mysterious coincidences. This is like you hear their name on the street, you see their car everywhere, you see people that look like them, you hear about their friends contact you. It's like this person is in your orbit, and yet you two are not yet united, but I see that the universe is really conspiring to make this happen. And again, this is something that you have to choose, so you can tell your guides what you want. But truly, I think that this person is in your orbit, and that you have the protection of your archangels, your guides, and I'm even seeing like the moon here as being like a protective, intuitive energy that is available to you. So I do feel that this person is going to be able to work through their fears, but I almost feel like giving them energetic space and distance is necessary, at least right now, at least for about 2 weeks. I feel they need some time to work through things. And it's almost like without your presence, that's the only way that they can realize how important your presence is to them. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we have these 3 cards. So we have the Knight of Crystals, the Ace of Crystals, and the 3 of Swords. So I feel really bad right now, you guys, because 3 of Swords is a really hard card. When we see this card, this is about anguish, this is dread, this is feeling dismayed, and I have a feeling this is how you're feeling right now. And it's so easy on the surface to look at the situation in a very 3D and black and white way, and I don't blame you for doing this. But you're probably sitting there and you're thinking, okay, this person has chosen someone else, or they are seeing other people and they're not treating me seriously, and now I'm completely heartbroken and everything is horrible. And I completely understand why you feel that way. And I also want to empathize with you because I have been in this exact situation before. And when you have such a high level of love for someone like this, it is so very deeply painful. But I want you to know that I don't see this Three of Swords being like the final outcome here. I think it's temporary. I think it's right now. But the question is, are you willing to withstand the temporary? And it is completely 1000% in your right to be like, I do not accept this energy. And I also think that if you say, I do not accept this energy, that is actually what is required to change the dynamic here. So it's really important that you know that you have a lot of decision-making power. When we have the Knight of Crystals and the Ace of Crystals, which is both wand energy, there's a lot of fire energy coming in. And the Knight of Wands is all about charging ahead. It's about creating your own path. It is even potentially about dating other people for a short period of time just to feel like you are empowered and liberated. And again, I'm not advising you to do it, but if it calls to you, be my guest because you deserve to be empowered. You are a very sensitive soul. You're a magnetic soul. You have a lot to offer the world. And until you are comfortable receiving the highest levels of love, I don't think that this dynamic is going to radically change. And so it's almost like what is required for this twin flame connection is to hit the pause button for a little bit and to make the decision that you're going to have a new beginning. And when we see the Ace of Wands, it's always a new beginning. It is always about using your inspiration, your passion, your drive, your fire to get what you deserve, to create the life that you truly deserve. And you guys, we are so powerful and nobody really talks about just how powerful we are. You have the power to change this situation, but I have a feeling like the way this situation will change is when you energetically detach from this twin flame connection. And again, this is temporary, it's not permanent, but when you open up your energy field to receiving the highest level of love possible, that is when naturally they will come in. Naturally, they will start to mirror you. I know that if you are in the depths of this situation, this advice is probably really frustrating to hear, but I promise you, if I did not have personal experience with this exact method, I would never be advising you guys to do this. Never, ever, ever. It is so important to me that my clients and my viewers and my community is loved and is respected. And I would never give you this advice if I did not know from my own personal experience and all of the energy work that I do that this works. And I do believe that this is what is required in order for this connection to work out. So let's see what Spirit has to say, any advice coming through here. So it's almost like temporary disconnection in the 3D in order to manifest a much more profound, deep connection with this person in this union. Okay, so we have mediumship, emotional sensitivity. Yes. Okay, so let's just start with mediumship. First of all, you have a protection of this like winged being or this winged angel watching over you. You are getting information that is in the 5D and all the way up to the 8D is actually what I'm seeing. And I'm talking about dimensions here. So when we see this, you have the ability to communicate with other realms and other entities or spirits who are light and high vibrational in nature. And at this time, I feel like that would be helpful for you to just be able to understand what's really happening here. Because remember, how we experience 3D time is very different from what's actually happening in the ether and in the spiritual world. So know that there is like a disconnect and we have to acknowledge that in order to kind of make sense of this situation. And then I see you being very emotionally sensitive, and this is actually a good thing on the surface. Again, I understand why it's so hard. I understand why we got the Three of Swords, because when you are this sensitive, I imagine that you're also clearing a lot of karmic blocks or a lot of things that have been in your energy field for a while, and it's just that this person is like igniting all of that. Like they're taking any abandonment wound that you've ever had and they're igniting it and they're making it seem really big. But because you're so sensitive, you also have such a strong ability to heal. Whenever you're really sensitive to energy, it also means that you have the ability to heal in a very deep, intensive manner. And so instead of seeing this as like a bad thing or a curse, I want you to see it as a blessing and know that with the right tools and resources and support, you are actually going to be able to transcend this Three of Swords energy and move towards more of the Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands energy, which is really beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys, look, twin flame. I asked Spirit for one more card and I was like, show the outcome. So the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. There is twin flame energy all over this pile. I promise you, the lesson in this situation is that you need to go out, you need to accept the love that you deserve, which is a very high bar of love. Once you are ready to receive that very high bar of love, that is when this person is going to come in. They actually cannot come in before because you're not ready yet. And again, I understand that this is an intense message. It may even potentially feel a little bit triggering. There's a part of your soul that is not ready to accept this very high level of divine love. And of course, there's karma here, there's past lifetimes here. I mean, you two are the same soul that has been split. And in this lifetime, you two are tasked with remembering that you are one and that you are in union. And I do see this happening for you. I want to be really clear. The Three of Swords energy is just right now. It's not going to be for a lifetime, but only if you depart from this connection temporarily to accept the divine love that you deserve. And you can do that in any way you wish. You can do healing, you can date other people, whatever it is that works for you, as long as you can receive this divine level of love, that is when this person is going to come in. So that is really the biggest confirmation of all. First of all, that you are in a twin flame connection. And secondly, that there is more healing to be done here. And I just want you to know that you are extremely supported and that you are going to get the divine messages that you need. And I really want you to trust that. And as long as you trust that, I see this situation actually working out for you. So I hope that this reading helped you today. I hope it gave you clarity and guidance. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. I offer personal readings if you want to go deeper on this. I also have a bunch of classes. Please check out all of those at the links down below, and I will see you guys very soon. Okay, take care. Bye. Okay, pile 2, welcome to your reading. So your first card is here, and you got 36 wild animals. So the question is, what is blocking this union? And of course, it's not wild animals, but what I'm getting is I do get a very passionate sexual relationship here between you and this person. And so potentially something that could be blocking it is that there's a little bit too much emphasis on like that root chakra energy and not enough on the crown chakra energy. So I'm just going to keep pulling some cards here and see what is going on. We're asking Spirit for divine guidance to channel all of these messages, whatever you're meant to hear today, lovingly and accurately. Okay, 30, meditation. Seems like you'll be finding some answers. Spirit, what is blocking this connection in 3D? Okay, we have 21 angels. Okay, clearly you guys are very protected. I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards and hopefully getting a little bit more clarity on what is really going on here. What I'm seeing for this pile actually is that you already have a union in a different realm, and I know that's a weird way to say it, but it's almost like your souls are united in another dimension, and that's almost why you're getting confused, because look at all these cards: wild animals, meditation, angels. All of these things are showing us that there already is a union somewhere, especially if you get the meditation and angels together. I even was hearing that if you have a practice of journeying or visiting other realms or astral traveling or even dreaming, you and this person might be very much together in those realms, but in the 3D, there's something that's being blocked. So I'm going to ask Spirit specifically, what is the block? Can you please show us what is the block? And please show us the block for the viewer first, Spirit. 7 of Cups. Okay. Uncertainty. Spirit, what else is the block for the viewer? The viewer, what is the block? The Moon, more uncertainty, more anxiety too. Okay, let's see what fell out here. Okay, a lot of stuff. So 6 of Diamonds, Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, 3 of Cups. All right, so that was a lot of cards that came out. I'm also just going to ask for an advice card. See what comes through. Singing and dancing. All right, you guys, so I'm just going to drop in for a second and see what Spirit is wanting to communicate. So the first thing they're saying is that there is a level of uncertainty that you are holding on to. And I understand this because we're humans and we have a human experience. But what Spirit is saying is, how can they facilitate this union when you're holding on to that uncertainty? And I'm just going to be really transparent with what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that you question yourself. I'm seeing self-doubt, fear, and self-sabotage. And these are the main themes that are coming through in this reading. I do want to say, before we get into all of that, you are hugely protected. And I also feel that you're almost like dimming your light or dimming your power a little bit in this connection. Now, part of the reason why this connection is blocked is because it's too easy for this person to treat you physically, but not spiritually. And until you raise the bar, basically, and start treating yourself in this more energetic, spiritual, divine love type of way, I don't think it's really possible for this other person to treat you in that way. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like you've done something wrong. You absolutely haven't. You know, when we see wild animals, this is a primal force which is available in the relationship, which is a very beautiful expression of love. And so there is a lot of love here, but it's not across all different types of energy, so to speak. So like I said, I like to think of it like the different chakras. This is more of a primal, animalistic, root chakra kind of energy. It's very protective, it's very physical, it's very safe in some ways, but I'm also seeing that it can't only remain in this level. It has to actually transcend into a different way of being. And so it makes sense to me now why Spirit was showing meditation, because I think what's required for this connection is that you start to reach more into other realms and start to reach more into higher levels of your consciousness. And I would really advise asking the other person deep questions, much, much deeper. Don't let it stay in the root chakra energy. We really need to transcend this energy. We really need to get into more of the third eye chakra energy and the crown chakra energy. So asking them, like, what are your dreams? What are your manifestations? What are your true visions in this lifetime? Like, when you are the highest essence of who you are, how does that look? Of course, I'm just spitballing with the questions, but I'm seeing that there are two ways to do this. The first is in silent meditation with yourself, to visualize the two of you being harmoniously together in union, and that the energy of meditation and energy work is available to you, and that the two of you understand it. And I want you to sit and visualize the two of you across from each other and this like energetic current going from you to them and back to you. And I'm not saying a current in the sense that you're giving your energy to them. I just want this to be like a beautiful orbit where you're both sharing energies, but you're not taking each other's energy. So if you can see it like an orbit, then I believe that what you're going to do is you're going to be able to connect the heart chakras more. And that's also really important for dropping into greater levels of sensitivity. So really getting more into the crown chakra in this union and away from some of the more primal energies that are also available. And again, there's nothing wrong with those primal energies. Those are still really beautiful, but we really want to move them. We want to kind of break up that energy so that it doesn't just sit in the root chakra, and we need more divine light energy to come through. And I even am understanding the advice from Spirit, singing and dancing. When we dance, what we're doing is we're actually shaking up the energies in the lower chakras, and we're bringing it up and out of us. And so things like stomping, shaking, just really using primal movements. If you can do that through dancing, you're not going to seek it so much in your relationship. And again, I'm not trying to say that's bad to seek it in your relationship, but it shouldn't be like a foible or something that you rely on. It should be like an added element to your relationship, right? So it's like this web or this pastiche, and you're trying to create all of it. So singing and dancing is going to help you break up all of that energy that's stuck in the chakra system. And instead of seeking that liberation through the physical in this relationship so much, you're going to just see the physical as a cherry on top of a very energetic spiritual relationship. What I'm seeing spiritually is really hard to describe, you guys, so I'm sorry if this doesn't sound perfect, but I hope that you understand what I'm saying here. Really, what we're just trying to do is align all of the chakras. And here we have angels, so I do want you to know that this is perfectly available to you in this union. I do see this as a beautiful union. We have the butterflies coming in here. We have the heart. From the heart is where we radiate love. And I'm seeing that the more you can be honest with your love instead of holding it back in this union is actually going to really set the bar really high. And so it's necessary that you are the leader in this relationship, not the follower. And Spirit is saying that very clearly. So what I would advise is even if it seems really intense to say something like, I love you, or I care about you so much, or I have unconditional love for you, it doesn't matter because somebody needs to go there. You know what I mean? Like, for this union not to be blocked, someone needs to go to that level of love, and that person is you. So, with the Seven of Cups and the Moon, I just have this feeling like you've been holding yourself back, and it's like, oh, maybe I'll scare them or something like that. But you know what? If we always exist in the energy of maybe I'll scare them, then yeah, you probably will scare them because, first of all, that's what you're manifesting. But secondly, the cycle will never be broken. And I'll just speak from personal experience really fast. In previous relationships, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to tell them that I love them, even though I did love them. And I was hoping that they would pick it up somehow energetically. But what I was doing by doing that is just keeping the relationship at the same level. And that's not really what anyone wants. If you want to have a good, healthy, abundant, joyous relationship where you can tell each other everything and anything, you need to be the one to express it. And so when we see the Seven of Cups, it's like, just go for it. And I'm going to be very honest here. I see your friends and your community advising you to do the opposite and advising you to stifle yourself or to run away from this connection altogether. I don't actually think this is healthy in this situation. I don't think that you should ghost this person. I don't think that you should stifle your emotions. I think you should tell them how you feel and then detach from the outcome. And I know that that is extremely hard, and what I'm advising is probably one of the hardest things that you can ever do, but I think that that is the way that this will actually come into union, is if you express your emotions, you're very forthright and honest about your love with them and for them, and then you detach from the outcome. And when I say that, it means that you have no attachment to whether they love you or not. And what this relationship is calling for at this time is like a true level of unconditional love. So it's very necessary that you guys do this. Okay, so let me just go through the rest of the tarot cards. So we have Six of Diamonds, Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, then we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups, first of all, is a celebration. So this union is going to come into the 3D. This union is going to work. You are going to have a harmonic and beautiful relationship with each other, and it is something that will be in this lifetime. So I want you to know that. And I also want you to know that really the only thing that's blocking it is you stifling yourself in terms of your throat chakra and in terms of reaching these higher level energies. So we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is about giving and taking. And so it's kind of like what you give, the other person will receive, even if they don't know how to receive it in the moment. As long as you give of your heart and you give in a very pure, divine, honest way, that person is going to receive that energy, and then eventually they will return in kind. Do not question yourself. Do not judge yourself. Do not have self-doubt. It's very important that you are the grounded one here, especially when we see the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is about being very structured, pragmatic, and secure, and it's very much about being serious as well. And I really think that in this union, you need to be serious, and you need to be the one who's like, okay, I'm going to express from my throat chakra everything that needs to be expressed. So this is super important. We also have the Queen of Pentacles here. When we see the Queen of Pentacles, this is a nurturing energy, and this is also a person who is very much empowered in their own right. And so you get to create the empowerment here. If the other person is not empowering you, you get to empower yourself. And what I would really advise you to do in this connection in particular is just start to experiment. Start to show up with more confidence. Start to show up as if you're treating yourself as like the prize. And I know a lot of people say this and it might sound potentially kind of corny, but I think that if you do this, it's really going to make a huge difference in the connection. And I think that that is what is needed for the person to understand that we need to get out of the primal energy and into the more etheric energy. And once that person catches on to that, I actually see such a beautiful, harmonious relationship here for you guys. So let's just see if there's any other advice cards. Then I'm going to wrap up, so I'll probably pull two. Okay, vegetarian, vegan. So again, like cleansing the system, getting all of the blocked or stuck energy out of the system is really good at this time. If you wish to do that through changing your diet, that would be one good way, but also just making sure that you're giving your body what it needs. And then secondly, heal away addictions. This is what I'm feeling. I always love the last card that I pull in a tarot reading because usually it's the card that is like the most truthful or the most accurate. I feel there's a little bit of an addiction going on here where the two of you are addicted to like the physical or what is easy, what you know. And for this relationship to truly come into union, this has to be transcended. There is no way that if you don't transcend this, you will ever get union with this person. So if you really want union, you have to let go of the things that are blocking you from it. And this is one of them. It's too easy for this person to put you in a box, especially physically, if you allow this to continue. And so I'm seeing the need for energetic space and distance physically, but then I'm also seeing that when you show up, you're showing up in a very empowered energy. You're showing up with charge and passion and fire and self-respect. And I'm not saying that any of you have disrespected yourself, but because we get the addiction card here, there is like an addiction going on here. And this is not really super healthy, just being like completely honest. So we need to break the cycle of addiction and move into more of a etheric or energetic energy where both of you are respecting each other, uplifting each other, and uniting at a soul level. So I hope that this reading helped you. If it did, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. I offer personal readings. I also offer coaching, and I also have classes. So please check all of that out at the links down below, and I will see all of you guys very soon. I love you so much. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So let's figure out what is blocking your union. And we have your first card here. 16 solar plexus chakra. Okay, this is kind of an interesting message, but the solar plexus is all about independence, and perhaps there's a little bit of codependency going on in this relationship where you're actually being blocked from being that codependent. Maybe Spirit doesn't want you to look to the other person as the answer to many things in your life. That's just something that's coming to me. It's okay if it doesn't resonate, but that's kind of what's coming to me first. Great Spirit, we call upon you now. We ask what is blocking this union. Okay, we have the navel chakra, 17. Similar energy. So one is the solar plexus, one is the sacral. Then we have 3, audible guidance. Okay. 5, visual guidance. Okay. Wow. So there's definitely a lot of guidance around you, which is good. I'm going to be pulling a couple tarot cards as well and understanding more about what is blocking this union, this harmony. We have the King of Cups. Okay. Potentially the divine masculine is not yet where he's meant to be. Again, divine masculine not being so gendered, but rather whoever is the more masculine in the relationship. 2 of diamonds. All right, and then I'm just going to pull some advice cards here too. Let's see. Law of attraction. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. I want to actually start here. So I'm understanding what is going on here. I feel that the 3D part of you is grasping for this relationship to come into harmony and unity. But the part of you that is more high level and spiritual and 5D is actually already transcending what we call like a traditional relationship. I'm going to try and explain what I'm seeing. So when we have the 3D, we look to evidence. We look to what we know. We look to real, tangible evidence, such as the label of being in a relationship, the person texting you that they love you every single day. That's 3D energy. When we're in the 5D and above, we don't need that physical 3D evidence anymore. We have transcended it. We've actually gone to a higher level. We have an understanding of how energy works, and we understand telepathic communication. We understand soul communication. We don't need physical evidence all the time to affirm love. And being in the 5D energy actually requires so much confidence. It also requires a lot of surrender. It requires this law of assumption energy where we assume that what we know to be true internally is the truth. We no longer need this 3D energy to be coming in, always affirming us. And so when I was picking up on this energy previously, solar plexus, sacral, these are 2 power centers. The solar plexus is about your willpower and your independence. The sacral is very much about your divine feminine energy. It's about transcendence. It's also about creativity. And what I feel you're being called to at this time is to peel back from needing the codependence of having everything available in your 3D. I think spirit is almost like testing you and being like, can you transcend that? And it doesn't mean that you're not going to receive love, because you actually are. You're going to receive a more powerful version of love, but you need to transcend this in order to get to the higher level of love, the 5D. We have audible guidance and visual guidance. When we see both of these cards together, clearly you're getting a lot of guidance. You are being extremely tapped in at this time. You're probably hearing or thinking thoughts in your mind that are giving you great guidance on the situation. So part of this is also quieting the ego mind and tuning into what is the real guidance here. What is your soul actually telling you about this connection? I think you know very well that this person loves you and you love them. I don't think you have to question it. Stop questioning yourself. That's what I'm hearing from spirit. It doesn't matter what's happening in the 3D right now. I'm not saying the 3D does not exist. Of course it does, but it doesn't matter because all of that can change. We also have visual guidance. Visual guidance is like setting your sights on something and understanding that anything is available to you. This eye is laser focused on what it wants and on what it is manifesting. It is not only looking at what's in the 3D. Visual guidance is also about clairvoyance. It's about being able to see in your mind's eye the truth. Sometimes the 3D is not the truth. They've literally done science experiments on this. The 3D is very much an illusion a lot of times. The 3D is what we experience right now in this moment, and we are like an avatar of ourselves. I'm not trying to sound crazy. They literally have done science experiments on this. We see what we perceive, and what we perceive is made up of our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, our spiritual self. It is completely possible to change your external 3D reality by changing internally. So that is why this union is being blocked, because you have not yet changed internally. Okay, I see a little bit of wishy-washy energy going on here with the divine masculine. So again, the divine masculine is a strong force. When the divine masculine is fully in their power, they show up as powerful, confident, and relaxed all at the same time. The divine masculine right now is presenting a little bit of a wishy-washy energy. So coming into your field, coming out, texting you, then disappearing. I think that what spirit is asking you to do is to detach from the need to be codependent in this 3D dynamic, completely detach and separate yourself from that energy and from that necessity, and to use the law of assumption and attraction to actually call in what is most magnetic for you at this time and what your soul truly deserves. And really, this is like a spiritual initiation. So if your union is being blocked, there's always a reason why. There is always an energy that you are being asked to transcend and go deeper in. And this is not easy work, but I've done this work. I know how intense and hard it is, but if you commit to it, you're going to get exactly what you attract. You always get what you are attracting into your field. That's why when you change your energy to focus on a certain thing, it will start to naturally magnetize to you. If you even set the intention for something really small to happen, it will naturally magnetize to you. That's how you create your own reality. And yes, you can create your own reality. So relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So perhaps part of the reason why this union is being blocked is because in the old dynamic, you enjoyed it as it was, but now you're becoming more powerful. You're like this winged being. This woman is an angel and she's underwater. She can literally breathe underwater and she's sensitive and she's more aware than she was before. And so the way that this dynamic was working out previously, it has to be changed. It's no longer vibrating at the energetic level that you're vibrating at. So it makes sense. It makes sense that there's a pause here, and it makes sense that there is a block here. Parents, the divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. Okay. So there might be also a potential abandonment wound here. So usually if there is a block in our relationships, especially romance, it's because we were looking for something in our partner that we did not get from our parents. And then when that partner goes away, that wound is unearthed again. So abandonment or feeling not good enough, not worthy, not affirmed is probably the main wound here. So definitely inner child healing would be good, but the other thing I'm seeing is forgiving your parents, at least spiritually, letting them know that spiritually you understand they were only doing what they knew, and they were only doing what their soul wrote in this lifetime, and it's okay. You forgive them. And if you can, do this with love. I know it's really hard, but if you can do this with love, then what I feel is that you are going to be able to transcend that dynamic, and in doing so, transcend how this old story is playing out in this relationship currently. And I do feel that if you're able to transcend that abandonment wound on the inner child level, then it seems that what is available to you is not a wishy-washy masculine, but rather a divine masculine who is not wishy-washy, but is actually extremely stable. Earth Angel, you are a light worker who has come to the earth to teach about love. Yes. And so because you're a light worker, you first of all have abilities that perhaps your partner is not aware of. Perhaps they do not have the same level of ability as you. However, because this is a divine union that I'm seeing, what I am also seeing is that you can extract that within them. So perhaps they're not aware of their own abilities, or they're not even aware of your abilities. But if you really tap into your abilities and you just follow what you know to be true, and you live a little bit more in the 5D, while still staying as grounded as possible, then what I'm seeing is that you're going to be a very empowered version of yourself. And I feel that it's really important that you do this, because this is essentially law of attraction and law of assumption, right? You are attracting what you need in your 3D reality, which is you need a divine masculine who is stable. Third eye chakra, it's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So, okay. Pile 3, you guys have a lot of abilities, and I feel that this union is being blocked so you can focus on your abilities and really up level in that way. I see your energy being like this vortex, and it's going to be changing a lot, and it would almost be a little bit damaging if you had the distraction, air quotes, of a relationship while your energy is changing in such a rapid manner. I feel like you're going to start seeing visually a lot more in your mind's eye than you ever have before. And this is so important that you focus on this right now, because this is what is needed in order for you to live your best life and actually live out your highest calling in this life too. So that is why your union is being blocked. I actually don't see this as a block as much as I see it as a great gift. And I just think it's really important to really shift more into the 5D at this time, because that's what you're born for. That's what you are on this earth for. Your parents may never understand it, but I understand it. And I just say power to you. Do what you need to do. You are an earth angel. You can use the law of attraction to manifest your reality, quite literally. If you are curious about diving into this work in more detail, I offer personal readings. I also offer coaching. I also have a course. It's called Manifest Anything. I'm linking that down below. I would highly recommend checking it out. It's very important that you know how to actually manifest, not just how to visualize your life away. I'm just being really honest. There's a lot of courses out there that don't teach you the framework that is required to manifest successfully. So I really recommend that you check that out, because it can change your life once and for all if you commit to it. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of you. I wish you the best, and I will see you very soon. Bye.